Hello everyone and welcome back to the Blackfoot Book Club and another volume of my essential film reviews collection. My name's Chiron. People call me Little. Nominated for 8 Oscars at the 2017 award ceremony, Moonlight triumphed in 3 major categories: Best Motion Picture of the Year, Best Adapted Screenplay for Jenkins' screenplay based on Tarell Alvin McCraney's original semi-autobiographical story, and Mahershala Ali for his superb performance as an actor in a supporting role. A triptych film in 3 very distinctive acts, covering the shy, angst-ridden growing up of our main protagonist Chiron. Moonlight is clearly a deeply personal film for both the director and the author of the original source material, and summed up brilliantly by Jenkins in February 2017. Moonlight playwright Tarell Alvin McCraney and I are this kid. We are Chiron. And you don't think that kid grows up to be nominated for 8 Academy Awards. It's not a dream he's allowed to have. I still feel that way. I didn't think this was possible. But now I look at other people looking at me, and if I didn't think this was possible, how are they going to? But now it's happened. So what do I think of possibility? Let's take it off the table. The thing has happened. Split across 3 named acts entitled Little, Chiron and Black, Moonlight brilliantly portrays the tortured growing process of Chiron from young boy through to adolescent teenager and finally to his late 20s. It's certainly true to be classed as a coming-of-age drama, however this is also shot through the prism of the sexual awakening of a young homosexual man struggling with the dysfunctional upbringing of a single mother addicted to drugs, and being a painfully shy and self-aware young man who retreats into his shell as he is relentlessly bullied and picked on. As above, this is a particularly personal story for the director to tell, and Jenkins has managed to portray this in a real masterly fashion, employing numerous extreme close-ups and really putting the audience into the metaphorical shoes of Chiron in the process. I was also particularly taken with a number of swirling and rotating Steadicam shots in each act of the film, not always of Chiron at the centre of the shot, but always at the crux of my thinking and his possible reactions to the circling picture painted by the director. There is one use of deeply affecting silence merged with muffled sounds and sensations that heighten Chiron's emotional state, and every one of these simple yet effective ideas draws you as the audience deeper and deeper into a central, personal and often traumatic story. I also love the continual juxtaposition employed of differing worlds colliding in this young man's life, that of being surrounded on all corners by a drug and substance-fueled life, and that of the strong, familial adults around him. The struggles with the early realisation of his homosexuality, set against the predominantly heterosexual society and the people around him again. The pain of growing up and of experimentation and the guilty angst that can bring, and the neighbourhood balance between an honest and illegal means of existence. A brief act-by-act appraisal follows, and should you have read this far, I can only sincerely encourage you to see Moonlight, for it is a sublime and moving piece of cinematic magic. Entitled Little, the film's opening act sets the table for the events that follow in the young life of Chiron, played here magnificently by Alex Hibbert. Hibbert's performance has been a little overlooked since the film's release and of the awards that have followed in its wake. However, in an almost wordless role, Hibbert etches the angst of the young Chiron perfectly, with his often downward glances and especially his questioning and innocent eye contact with others. The eyes are the window to the soul, and this is writ large in Hibbert's portrayal as he almost compels you to watch him. He truly gives a quiet, mesmerising performance in the film's opening act of 36 minutes. First captured on another Steadicam shot by director Jenkins as he runs frantically to avoid school bullies, he barricades himself into a boarded up and disused house before being found by Juan, Mahershala Ali. In another of the film's many brilliant juxtapositions, Juan takes the young boy to his heart and completely at odds with his tough exterior as a local neighbourhood drug dealer. Offering a meal and a ride home, he pointedly exclaims, "I can't have you running around these dope holes," and eventually gaining the boy's trust after introducing him to girlfriend Teresa, Janelle Monáe. He becomes a short-term and much-needed surrogate father figure in a role that Mahershala Ali deservedly won a Best Supporting Actor Oscar. Their joint scenes are an innocence-filled joy at times, with Juan's huge laugh bringing occasional smiles from the young Chiron, and their scene at the beach one of the film's many highlights, as is their awkward discussion at the dinner table. Considered soft, even by his only real school friend Kevin, Chiron is painfully aware of the bullying directed towards him, yet has to fend for himself in every aspect of his young life, and unable to gain the parental reassurance from his mother Paula, Naomi Harris, who often remains frantically on edge and completely absent from his life. Now a high school teenager, Chiron is played in Act 2 brilliantly by Ashton Sanders, and continues to be haunted by nightmares of his younger days, as well as dealing with an acceptance of his sexuality amid continuing bullying and harassment. With zero parental backup, Chiron finds solace with a continuing friendship with Teresa, with Janelle Monáe coming into her own in this act and excelling as a further surrogate parental figure for the teenage Chiron. Still troubled and bullied relentlessly, his only safe space to be himself is with the calming influence of Teresa, who reminds the young man there is all love and all pride in this house, despite her own troubles. Still ostensibly a loner and alone with his thoughts, Chiron has kept one solitary friendship growing up with Kevin, a friendship that soon becomes intimate, but not before Chiron's heartbreaking admission, "I should have cried too much sometimes. I feel like I'm just going to turn into drops." Ashton Sanders' performance as the teenage Chiron is mighty impressive, again a performance seen very much through his eyes and timid gestures, but one that simmers with the silent scream of rage that pervades the young Chiron. By Act 3, entitled Black, after the affectionate nickname given to Chiron by his friend Kevin, he is seemingly on the surface now come full circle, and is eerily reminiscent of his early mentor Juan, complete with car, gold bling, and a harder, more resilient character as an Atlanta drug dealer. Now an adult and probably 10 years on from Act 2, Chiron is now portrayed effortlessly in another sublime performance from Trevante Rhodes. Two telephone calls affect Chiron's life. The first is from his estranged mother Paula, who is now in rehab and recovery from drugs and desperate to see her son again, and the shared scene between mother and son is heart-rending from beginning to end, before a second telephone call reunites Chiron with his old friend Kevin, who jokingly notes that Chiron may have changed on the outside, but "you ain't changed a damn bit. You still can't say more than 3 words at a time." I've expanded on more of the story than I usually do with my articles, but I've still left numerous strands and plot points out of the above appraisal. However, I have elongated the act-by-act exposition as an appreciation of a truly brilliant film, and I hope that you, dear reader, may be intrigued enough to watch this for either the first time or to enjoy it all over again. 2 performances in the final act deserve special praise, that of Andre Holland as the repentant and remorseful lifelong friend Kevin, and Naomi Harris's thunderous performance as Chiron's unhinged mother Paula. Harris's performance garnered her an Oscar nomination in 2017, one of 8 in total for this incredible film, a film that will stay with you long after the closing credits, and I feel sure will go down in cinematic history in the years to come as one of the finest films of all time. Boy, do I love that film. And that was Moonlight, directed by Barry Jenkins, brought to you by Stephen Blackford in a Radiohead t-shirt. Writing and reading pointless but heartfelt film reviews since 2012. And I'll leave you in peace and in solidarity. Thank you so much for watching. Please be careful out there. Peace.